one room done. This is second bedroom, but it's going to be used as Katie's office. But I want to get you guys caught up, and then we'll get continuing with the rest of the flooring. So it took me all day yesterday and a little bit this morning to finish this one room. I'm trying to figure out, I have figured out now kind of the best methods to use for myself. So I think the rest of the house won't take as long, but we'll see. Yesterday, I set myself up for success, and actually 2 days ago, the first day I started working on this. So last video you guys saw, you saw that I established my line throughout the house to make sure that I had a nice straight line and that I had it parallel and perpendicular to the walls out in the living room. And then I had that line come down through the hallway here and into the bedrooms. And what I did 2 days ago was I laid down 2 strips going all the way into the living room from this bedroom wall, and I ensured that it was perfectly straight, not only with this string line that I have here, but also I ran a laser line perfectly on that string, and I made sure that the join was, or that my edge was perfectly aligned all the way down. And then to make sure that this doesn't, that those 2 rows don't move at all, I use these screwing blocks like you're seeing here to secure it in place so that way it does not move back and forth when I am installing the flooring, because as you're installing a new floor and you're tapping it into place, that could move the pieces that you have already established, especially when you only have less than 5 rows of flooring established. Once you get beyond 5 or 6, then there's enough surface tension to prevent it from moving with those small taps. So those blocks did really, really well, and I was able to start going this direction in the bedroom, and then I had a nice platform to where I could then remove the blocks from here, the screwing blocks, and then continue this direction, and periodically checking to make sure that my line still matched with my string line. Okay, so now where we're at is I'm going to start heading into the master bedroom here, and there is an area that I'm a little concerned about, and that's right here. You can see this. This is raised up a little bit. It humps a little bit there, and so I want to see how much of that I need to grind down, if at all. So I'm going to lay down some pieces right now and see how bad that is. So let's go ahead and put a couple pieces in place. These are just to, these will not be kept like this because I want to make sure I have, pattern and stuff. But again, this is just to get a sense of if that hump causes any issues. So let's get these in place. Oops. It seems like it's really easy just watching me do this small area, but it's not quite as easy as this because you have to make sure that your pattern is established as you're going along and not your cut pattern. You don't want it to be. So that's going to be right on a transition piece. You can see it right here. That's really unfortunate that it's going to be literally right on that line. So that's going to be no bueno. Not good. All right, let's get that to sit flush. If it doesn't sit flush, then you have to tap it into place until it falls flush to the floor. Let's see if that's going to be an issue, I think. I don't know, I guess we'll just find out. Let's see if I have a short piece that will fit in this area. I do. Okay, tap this guy into place. Let's see how it lays. Yeah, look at that right there. It's not too bad. And that lays just fine. But there is a little bit of a, I can probably push that down with the trim. That really pushed that down quite nicely. So, let's just keep going here. Well, that's all I needed to do. I just needed to screw it in. so far, the majority of this video has been me doing time lapse of putting the floor in, and while that is very satisfying to watch, just to see it all go into place, I thought I would take a moment and actually show you the process that I'm doing to put this floor into place before I call it the end of the video, and which means that we're not going to see the finished flooring on this video, but we'll see it on the next video. So anyway, let's do this here. So first thing I need to do is determine either the start or the end of a row. And so I'm deeming that the start of the row and this side the end of the row. And I try to make it so my joins are staggered and not in a pattern and not right next to each other. So I take a piece of scrap, and that's what I have here on the wall here. I have various lengths of scrap. These are all end piece scraps. And I take a look to see what I have for joins near me. I have a long piece, I have a medium piece, I have a longer piece, and a really short piece over there. So I'm gonna go ahead and take, I think I'm gonna take this, I have a medium piece right here. So let's see, if I put this one in place here, that means that that stagger is pretty close, that join rather, is pretty close there. I don't really like that look, so I'm gonna not use that piece. So I'll use this small piece here, and if I put this at the end where it's gonna go, it'll go about right there. Maybe over a little bit more, but you get the idea. And I'm okay with that join being that far away. I think that looks pretty good. So then I need to now run some pieces over to see what my cut is gonna be at the beginning. Let's get this stuff out of the way. So I get that kind of lined up with about where it's gonna go when it joins up. You can see that. And I just kind of grab some random pieces. When I unboxed these, I unboxed them in random order, so that way I wouldn't have the same pattern over and over and over in the floor. So that goes about right there. I don't need to be perfect with it, but there. And I'm looking also to see if the colors, or they're gonna join together with the other boards, are not gonna be too stark in contrast. So I think that's gonna look okay. And then I'll get this piece here and put this piece in. Come on, I'm trying to do this one-handed and it's not quite as fast. So this is now joined, and now I can see that my cut piece, my beginning piece, needs to be cut right there. And the trick is to make that cut there. This is the direction with this lip here. That's gonna go this direction. So I'm gonna turn it around and put it where it's about gonna go, and then mark. This guy needs to go up a little bit. Mark where that cut is going to be, right there. I mark this line here. Now this piece, where I'm cutting, it's going to be covered by trim, so I'm not worried about marking it with a pencil. You're not going to see that. And I take my blade, I run along the line. Doesn't have to be perfect. Again, it's going to be covered by the trim. And then it's big enough to where I can just snap it. Okay, so that's my beginning piece. And so, because now I have the edge here and here, so let's go put that into place. This goes about right there. I'm getting close to the wall. Trim will cover that gap. The gap needs to be there to allow expansion in different temperatures of the room. Okay, and then I take my next piece and make sure it's all clean. There's nothing in the gaps, nothing in the little tracks that hold these together. There's a little piece right there. That can prevent it from being 100% waterproof. Okay, I'm hoping you guys can see all this. So I lift up a little bit, and if I can't get it to go, then I tap it with a block, and then make sure that this is going into that track. Okay, so before I push it down, I'm gonna keep it lifted up like this, and I'm gonna do the next piece. Again, I hope you guys can see all this. So here's my next piece. Lift up a little bit, push in, take the end piece off, put this piece in, lift, try to push it, slide it in. There's a lot of friction on these things because it's very, very tight. So I'm gonna grab my block. Okay, so I gotta lift it up to get the lip of the front edge underneath the lip of the back edge over here. This one here, I might actually have to just kind of slide. It's pretty tight to this back end. So the thing I want to do is, let's see here, if I do, there we go, that's better. Okay. There we go. Now to get it nice and tight in its connection, I take my hammer block, and I hit the edge. See if you guys can watch out. So that's raised up. It's because it's not fully seated into its groove. As I go down the line here, that will sink. There we go. There we go. That did it. There we go. Another row in. Okay, so that's it for this video. I'll do some B-roll over my talking here, but so you can see the progress we've made. I got Katie's office completely done. I got a good majority of the master bedroom going. I got a good majority of the master bathroom going. Got around all the plumbing and stuff, except for the toilet. And like I said in the beginning of the video, I established my straight line through the middle of the house. So what's left is finish the master bedroom, bathroom, the hallway bathroom, the hallway, and then come into the great room here. So still a lot more work to do. It's taken me 3 days to see what you guys are seeing now. So it'll probably be another 3 or 4 days worth of work on the rest of the house, because I am being really particular and really careful to make sure all of my seams are really tight, make sure there's no gaps, make sure it's nice and waterproof. So anyway, really appreciate you guys joining me, watching. We're getting close to being done with this darned house. We're so ready. So keep watching, keep cheering us on, hit that thumbs up button, leave us a comment, it does help the channel. And yeah, we'll see you on the next one.